Whoa.
Today on Rock the Park,
Massive is an understatement.
we're deep inside a limestone labyrinth.
It's incredible.
Where time stands still
This is the Rock of Ages.
and everything changes in a flash.
This water is rising. We could get trapped. I'm scared.
Oh. What do we do?
And it all starts right now.
No way, no way.
I'm Jack Steward. And I'm Colton Smith. We've been buddies for years, and we love exploring the national parks.
It's all about packing up a car and just doing it, just hitting the road.
Our goal is to visit every national park in this country.
And when you go off the beaten path like we do,
There's no telling what will happen next.
get set to rock the park. Will Rogers called it the Grand Canyon with a roof on it. Welcome to Carlsbad Caverns National Park.
Carlsbad Cavern is known as one of the most spectacular caves in the world.
But you'd never know it from the surface. The park lies within the Guadalupe Mountains of southeastern New Mexico.
There are 119 known caves in the park, from tiny rooms to chambers so big more than 6 football fields would fit inside.
Today we're heading into the massive Carlsbad Cavern, and then tonight, I'm so excited to see the bat flight.
And then tomorrow, we're gonna be doing some wild caving.
We're talking belly crawls, creepy crawlies, and mud.
Wow.
Lots of mud.
Oh, looks like we got some sheep up there.
Oh, wow.
You see them up there?
Oh, yeah, there's a whole herd of them.
These are Barbary sheep from northern Africa. They were introduced to this region in the 1950s.
They look very, very similar to desert bighorn, but their horns almost seem like they kind of come out a little more.
Barbary sheep are well adapted to this dry landscape and get all the water they need from the plants that they graze on. Today, we're gonna be hiking over a mile down into the heart of Carlsbad Cavern
Hi.
with Ranger Tony Nelson.
We get our first view of Carlsbad Caverns, and instantly you realize the sheer size of this cave.
Just a few minutes into our hike, Tony points out the Bat Cave, where hundreds of thousands of bats are currently sleeping. You might say they're responsible for the discovery of the cave.
That's one of the stories that you learn about Carlsbad before you come here.
In 1898, a cowboy named Jim White was rounding up his cattle one night when he spotted smoke. But he soon discovered the black cloud was actually a swarm of bats pouring from a massive cave. Over the years, Jim explored this cavern with a single lantern and named many of the formations.
Whoa.
Like this 30-foot tall stalagmite called the Witch's Finger.
So there's a fossil in the rock right there. So evidence of the very beginnings of Carlsbad Caverns. It was in an ancient inland sea that formed all this limestone.
It's incredible.
Whoa. Oh my gosh.
Whoa.
We finally made it to the big room. This is easily the most decorated cave I have ever seen. These crazy cave formations, like the famous Rock of Ages, are calcite that formed over hundreds of thousands of years, one drop of water at a time.
Whoa.
This is the Hall of Giants.
Oh, just
So-
another epic name.
Very, very fitting. Is that touching the ceiling?
Yeah, so that's a column.
A column forms when a stalactite and a stalagmite grow together.
We're now at our deepest point. We're 750 feet underground.
Whoa.
So that's the equivalent of about a 75-story building of rock above your heads right now.
When you're above ground, you would have no idea that there was such an elaborate system of caves down
it's
here.
just a hot desert.
We're in the desert, and yet we know that most of these formations, all of them actually, are from water.
And the Chihuahuan Desert gets a little over a foot of precipitation a year, but most of that rain actually comes this time of year in monsoons.
This cave just keeps going and going, but we can't. Not if we want to witness something equally spectacular.
We were about to check out one of the coolest things, not just at this park, but basically in the entire national park system.
Brazilian free-tailed bats get their name from their long tails, which make up almost half of their entire length. Every night, they leave the cave in search of dinner.
We're here at one of the best times to see them. The bat pups are now old enough to fly out with the moms and dads, but we have to be extremely quiet so as not to spook or confuse these little guys.
What makes these bats so unique is they're actually migratory bats. So some of these guys in the winter will go to Mexico, others will go to Central America, and some to Brazil.
What a perfect way to cap off our first day at Carlsbad Caverns. Tomorrow, we squeeze through a much smaller cave with a very different creature.
It's like the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life.
We're in Carlsbad Caverns prepping to do some wild caving with Ranger Ellen Trotner in what's called Spider Cave.
Oh, wow. Is this it?
It is. So you can see this has obviously been built up a little bit, but back in the 50s, there was a big flash flood, and it actually buried the entrance, and it was lost for about 20 years.
Colton's already dreading the tight spaces, and then Ellen drops another little bomb on us.
Now, I will be the first one to go in. I do have to check for snakes. Yeah.
What kind of snake?
Rattlesnakes.
Oh, man.
If there's anything that I don't want to come across in a tiny, dark, small space, it's a rattlesnake.
The nice thing about rattlesnakes is they usually announce their presence. So I'm just going slowly and listening.
So Ellen gets down off the ladder, and she informs us that there are no rattlesnakes in the cave.
Off ladder.
You're off ladder?
All right.
All right. Just a little cave. Alrighty.
The first little stretch is actually the tightest of the entire cave, which honestly, for me, I would say is a good thing. I'd rather get the tiny, tight, scary stuff out of the way.
Ready?
Yes, let's do it. It's always those first couple of squeezes. They kind of get you in the moment.
Oh my gosh, there's so many daddy long legs in here. Oh my gosh, look at, oh my gosh. Ah!
We're beginning to realize why this cave is called Spider Cave. Despite the name of the cave, daddy longlegs are not technically spiders. They are in the arachnid family, and despite the urban legend, they're harmless and not venomous in the least.
But these guys are maybe 6 inches from my face, and they're just pulsating and just looking all weird.
They are absolutely everywhere. And one thing...
Oh, whoa, what's that?
What are you yelling about?
I'm yelling about daddy long legs.
Freaking me out.
It's like the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life.
We've made it to the second of our 3 tight squeezes.
Oh, man. It's a little tighter. All right.
All right, I'm clear, Colton. It's all you.
Oh my gosh, there's one that's tighter than this? Over 120 different caverns. And we always seem to choose the tiniest, tightest one.
All right, guys, we made it to the smallest squeeze. You ready? See you on the other side.
Oh, okay. A nice little guy. It seems like
tight. I can't even see the ending.
Why am I always the guinea pig that has to go in?
Because you're Mr. Caves.
Well, no, not this time. You're going in first.
Good. I want to put it behind me.
While I think this squeeze might be tough, it's nothing compared to what lies ahead. We are looking at our one and only exit, and it is completely swamped.
We're wild caving in Spider Cave, facing the tightest squeeze yet, and Colton's going in first.
Okay. Oh boy, all right. Clear out a little cobble for myself. Getting stuck it'd really ruin this trip for me. Okay, here we go. Oh.
I'm glad you're the guinea pig this time.
Yeah, that's right. The dust. Oh, it's so dusty down here. Beware. Hey! Grabbing my shoe. It opens up.
Okay.
I cleared a bunch of the rocks away from you. All right, you're good.
All right, here I go. Oh, come on. You made it worse. Get out of here.
Caveman.
All right. So we get through the tightest squeeze and we enter into what is called the Auditorium.
Ellen tells us that the next quarter mile opens up with lots of landmarks to help us navigate.
And they're conveniently in alphabetical order. So we're in the Auditorium right now for A. Coming up, Blood River, then Castration Rock.
Oh my God.
And then Decision Room, which is where we can take another break.
All right, let's go.
Yep.
Ooh, shouldn't do that.
No, you should not. No, yeah.
Okay, so this is Blood River. It's red because it has a lot of iron oxides in it, so it's mixing with the calcite and it gives it that color. It's also very active. You can see how it's wet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right here, this is Castration Rock. It's an awkward crawl, okay? Basically, your right knee's gonna be down here, your left knee will be up on top, and you just straddle it as you crawl through. Then we'll pop out in the Decision Room, okay?
Yikes.
It's not that this crawl is necessarily too tight. It's that it's just really awkward and kind of hits you in all the wrong spots.
Oh, ow. Oh. Oh, jeez. Oh. Yeah, this is awkward. Oh.
All right, welcome to the Decision Room.
Oh, this is it?
Uh-huh.
Oh, sweet.
Take a look around. Can you see why we call it the Decision Room?
Yeah, that's quite obvious.
Should we maybe like get a marker, you know, make sure that we...
I know, because I'm seeing a passage there, there.
I couldn't imagine getting lost down here. It's basically the worst case scenario nightmare. Ellen's telling us all about our different options on which way to go when all of a sudden I hear a noise and it sounds like rocks falling.
Whoa, what is that?
Guess it's raining.
Really?
Does that even sound like it's necessarily coming from up?
I know, it kind of sounds like it's coming like behind me.
I know, that's what's weirding me out.
Actually, I wonder if that means it's hailing.
Yeah, that's kind of scary. That's weird.
Sounds like little things falling.
When you're in a cave, it's kind of the one thing you're really hoping that you don't hear is something that sounds like it could be crumbling rock.
I say we go back. What do you think?
I think anytime you're in doubt about whether or not you should stay in a cave, you should probably just leave it.
We make our way back and we head into the auditorium. Ellen stops. Whoa. I look over and I see water.
There was a flood.
We are looking at our one and only exit and it is completely swamped. Not only is it our exit, it's the tightest crawl that we had to go through to get to this spot.
Evidently, that rain we were hearing is flooding the cave.
Has it stopped?
This water isn't stagnant. You can see it rising. We could get trapped.
What do we do?
This is a real situation we are dealing with. We have to go now and we have to make sure that we get out, we get our crew out, and we start to make our way towards the entrance of this cave.
Let's just go.
Oh, I actually have no idea what to do about the camera.
Let's pull the media and let's get out of here. Okay.
Okay.
Well, I'll keep shooting until you guys are all out.
We have to leave our cameras up in a high point. Obviously, let's do this carefully, but let's do it quick.
So the way we do this is you have to float on your back through. You'll basically be kissing the ceiling. There's about 5 inches of air. You want to do it as smoothly as possible because you don't want to make waves that are going to splash up over your face. Oh, it's cold.
Oh, man.
It's all right.
I'm scared. I don't know how we're gonna get out of this.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay.
Let's go for it, man.
Okay.
You got it, dude.
And just, you're just gonna push with your feet. The water kind of does the rest for you.
Oh, boy. Okay. This is, cold and scary.
Yes, it is.
You got it, dude.
No way, no way.
It's monsoon season in Carlsbad Caverns National Park, and a flash flood is filling up our one and only exit from Spider Cave.
I'm scared. I don't know how we're gonna get out of this. No way, no way. The water is so high that it's coming into my mouth. My nose is touching the ceiling, but I can breathe.
I'm good.
Oh, here we go.
You're good, man. You're good. You're good.
I feel the water coming up, and it's just about to my lips.
You got it. You got it. You got it. You got it. You're there. You're there. Attaboy. Attaboy. What the heck? What the heck? Jeez.
Our crew's right behind us. After a few more tense minutes of crawling through water and another couple of squeezes, we finally see daylight and then waterfalls pouring into the entrance.
The entire landscape has been transformed.
This creek right here was not here when we went in. If we hadn't have made that decision in the decision room to turn back right there, we could still be down in the cave. That's crazy.
We're so lucky we had Ellen to keep us calm and get us out of that situation safely. Overnight, the rain died down, and now I'm heading in with a few of our crew on a rescue mission.
We are back to go down into the cave and see if we can retrieve our gear.
We're just hoping the water levels in the cave didn't reach the high point where we stashed the camera.
As you can see, it's definitely still nice and damp down here.
Okay. Oh, looks like our stuff survived the night.
It does. It's nice and dry up here, at least.
Oh, yeah. This is mine. Go home.
It was fortunate we were able to get back in and retrieve this thing. Now we just bag everything up and back out the way we came.
Oh.
We're coming out.
You coming out? You guys good?
All good.
Okay.
We got all the gear.
Woo!
Successful mission. Well done.
Spider Cave was a good lesson for all of us.
How amazing is it that we heard those noises in the decision room and made that decision to turn around?
Yeah, perfect timing.
Honestly, if you weren't there with us, I don't quite know how I would have reacted to that. Because when I wasn't sure, even when we got through that crawl, we were gonna find more water.
But I think right there lies the point. You gotta know what you're getting yourself into.
Yes.
And you knew this cave, and
Yes.
you knew that that was the low point.
Exactly.
Yes. I knew that if we got through that one pinch, which dips down, I knew we'd be in the clear on the other side.
When we went in this thing yesterday, I didn't think there was any chance that a situation like that would happen.
Oh, not even remotely.
There's always a possibility with caving that you might end up having to shelter in place. We would have just had to wait.
I think it's important to look at caving just like climbing a mountain or any other of the activities we do out in these parks. You gotta be prepared for anything.
These places are so wild, and
Right.
unexpected things happen all the time.
Exactly.
Carlsbad Caverns is a park dedicated to exploring the unknown. both deep inside the earth and deep inside yourself.
Thank you for helping us get out of that cave.
You're welcome.
And remember, hey, if we can do it,
So can you.
So the next chance you get, go out and rock the park.
hey everybody, thanks for watching. Make sure to leave any questions or comments that you have.
And please subscribe to the channel. There's a lot more to come.